I want to talk about The Parasol Protectorate by Gail Carringer. I recently read a book that had a very poor, shall I say, female protagonist, and it just reminded me of how much I loved this book. And these books, the Parasol Protectorate 5-book series, it just reminded me of how much I really, really like these books. And that's actually surprising me. I did not think that I was going to enjoy them at all when I started reading them. I almost had to be forced to read Souless, because it definitely leans way more towards the romance than it does towards, like, the traditional fantasy that I read. There's no witches, there's no wizards. There are vampires, there are ghosts, there are werewolves, and then there's the preternaturals, which you only get to meet one of. And that's the main character, Alexia Terabody, who is, I think, a very strong female lead, and very fitting for this book, because she is allowed to be strong and independent, have a strong will, but she's still feminine. She still likes fashion, though she admits her fashion tends to be more on the traditional side. I think it says in here that it's so, that her fashion is so on the nose that it can be kind of boring, but she's great. She has no soul, which allows her to neutralize vampires and werewolves and to exorcise ghosts. And the entire series deals with her from being a spinster, an old maid, at like, what, 26? To being the mother of one. And it's a really great series. She is allowed to be this strong and independent woman while still being very feminine. And not just being involved in fashion, but when it comes to the way she portrays herself. She does like science. She does carry a weapon. A very nice weapon that I wish I had. Who doesn't want, like, a tactical parasol? But she's never really weak. Sure, she gets abducted, she gets into fights and she loses, she gets into fights and she wins. But through the entire time, she maintains being feminine. She wants to fall in love, and I think it's very obvious, even though she doesn't really admit it to herself. But she doesn't think it's possible. She thinks she's an old maid, and that her attitudes and her looks and her ancestry really make her unfit. That's her life. And when a certain old werewolf has a thing for her, it takes a long time for them to really get together. I mean, it takes one book, but it's really, I think, spectacular. And I just really wanted to talk about it. I don't see enough people talking about it, and it's such a good series. It also has a lot of LGBTQ characters. I mean, we do focus more on the men in the series, because Alexia is surrounded by a pack of men. I mean, the werewolves are all men, except for there's one female werewolf comes around, I think, in the second or third book. And then you get more female vampires, but there's plenty of gay characters. There's only, like, I think one, maybe two lesbian characters. Well, one, I don't know if she's actually lesbian or bisexual. I think she's a lesbian. I don't think it ever actually directly says. It's been a while since I read the entire series. I did read Souless recently, but it's been a while since I've read the other books. But there is a diverse cast, and it's just fun. It's the romance I really didn't think I was going to enjoy. I generally don't like it. I like a lot of action, which there's plenty of action. And I really generally like heavy fantasy, like Brandon Sanderson or Myth Adventures or something, that there's a lot of magic. And this one's very low magic, lots of steampunky science. You got dirigibles and stuff like that. It's really interesting, and I highly recommend it. I guess this video is going to be really short because I really wasn't prepared. I just kind of sat down and did this because of the recent book I read. I was like, oh man, when I saw this on my shelf, I was like, I should really just talk about that. I should have planned more, but I didn't. But I just want to say, I love these books. They're so good. You guys should totally check them out. I really love these books. Again, it's the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carringer. Soulless, changeless, blameless, heartless, and timeless. And that's it. You guys have a great day.